Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We recently got a new update for Digimon Story Time Stranger. By the way, probably one of the best games I've played so far this year. But let's get back to the video here. I'll break down the practical changes. So we have the Bond overhaul, which extra strike activation rate has been increased with Bond. Bond now raises crit rate, Bond boosts item drops and rare drop rates. Just kind of an FYI, only the highest Bond Digimon affects the drops. And then the tutorial got updated to reflect the Bond changes. And then also stability and progression fixes, which there's a lot of changes they did on this, especially behind the scenes, but I'm not going to list everything here. But the big ones were, there were a few people that experienced the demo to full save transfer issue. Unfortunately, I didn't experience this, but a lot of other players did. Supposedly that got fixed, and it seemed to only affect more people on Steam than anything else. And then I guess there was an issue, a few that I've seen reported, that the factorial area, I guess when you're by that crane area, I guess there was a save bug there. And then they also, there was a bunch of reports with trophies and achievements and unlock issues. So it's good to see that the developers are actually fixing this. So a lot of stability updates and a lot of these like game breaking fixes were you know, pretty much included in this update, which is nice to see. So why is this patch good? So the gameplay impact, basically Bond becomes more useful. So let's break it down. So more strategic team choice. Now Bond now directly affects combat outcomes, extra strikes, and crit. So rotating and bonding with certain Digimon matters beyond flavor text. So now we have farming and builds. Using your highest Bond Digimon in a party to increase item and rare drop rates creates a new incentive to keep a drop leader in the squads, which I really love the idea of this. And then also they're creating like a clear feedback loop. So the updated tutorial helps onboard new players to the mechanics, so players know why raising Bond is worth the time, which is really good to see. So this is, for me, like really cool, is the quality of life and stability wins. So progression, unblocking fixes, remove frustrating soft locks and trophy loss scenarios. I know a lot of people, if you ever experience these, it's probably one of the worst experiences you could ever have. I mean, you can get over it, but it is frustrating. You put the time and work and it doesn't, you know, you don't see the, you know, especially for the trophy hunters. But it's really good to see that they've been working on this. And then they also have been working on some crash fixes. I will be honest, at least on the Steam version, I did not experience a single issue. You can watch all of my streams that I did this last week from start to finish. I didn't experience not a single issue, but I know there are, you know, some people that did experience. So, you know, unfortunately, making games, you know, it happens. Bugs do kind of pop out of nowhere. So it is nice to see that they're working on these updates. And then certain bosses and UI fixes address the pain points that stalled playthroughs and disrupted boss pacing. I personally, you know, I didn't really experience this myself, but I have seen reports of this. So I'm glad that, you know, they're addressing issues. And then my biggest thing is, like, this is what gamers still want. They're still missing balance transparency. And what I mean by that is numbers and thresholds. Players want, you know, the exact formula. Someone's probably already data mined it, to be honest, but I wish Digimon would put it on their website, or numbers for how Bond affects extra strike rates. Someone's probably going to figure that out at some point. It's probably already figured out by the time I put this video out. But if you know what that information is, let me know down below, or whoever is, you know, figured it out. And if there's a website or something, I'm definitely interested. But, you know, the crit rate increased percentages and precise drop rate multipliers, I'm kind of curious. And then display in-game, and what I mean by that is like a visible Bond to stat tooltip or breakdown in status screens, so you can plan who to bond and why. And then we have the Bond system quality of life. You know, I'd like to see maybe like shared party Bond effects. Many would prefer a system where multiple bonded Digimon basically contributed, you know, to partially to drop rates instead of only the highest. I kind of like this idea. but I see it from both sides. Let me know down below which one you guys would like. You know, do you like just the highest one, or do you guys want to see like a, you know, maybe multiple Digimon to contribute to that actual drop rate? And then my biggest issue, at least I've seen, is faster ways to raise bond. I know players want a clear, repeatable method or activities that, you know, reliably raise bond, maybe like daily tasks, mini games, or certain items. But let's actually talk about the in-game and balance concerns. Enemy scaling and challenge with bond boosting crit and extra strikes. Players wonder if late game content will need rebalancing to remain challenging. I mean, only time's gonna tell, and if it is an issue, just report it, guys. That's probably the best way, and if there's enough reports, they'll update it in the next patch. And then another thing is to worry about is the item economy and farming balance, especially with these changes. If the drop rates can be heavily manipulated by bond, it may break intended item scarcity. It's hard to tell at this point. It's you know, the updates just came out. I haven't been able to see like a drastic difference, but if you guys have seen a drastic difference, or if you guys have seen anything, let me know down below. But yeah, players, you know, definitely love limits, or, you know, the diminishing returns. And then, you know, feature requests beyond the patch. This is personally, I think this is the biggest item that I've seen all over the place, especially Karn. I think Gym Leader Ed's talked about this. This is definitely a really great point. I don't know where this idea originated from, but whoever did, I wish I would, you know, if I knew, I'd give you credit down below. But I personally, I would love to see a Digi Evolution on the Digifarm. I think that would be a really cool thing to see in a future update. And then also battle logs and replays. I think this will be more for serious players, showing recent extra strike triggers and bond-based events in a combat log, helping learning and optimization. And then also more bond interactions, maybe cosmic and narrative rewards tied to high bond, maybe. And what I mean by like this is maybe it creates a unique scene or a title or a battle line, you know, something really simple. I know the unique screen might not be simple, but, you know, essentially maybe a line of dialogue would be kind of cool to make the mechanic more emotionally meaningful, not just mechanical. And then quality of life toggles. I will say one of the best things that I've seen in the game, especially with me being limited to time streaming just because I had to take a week off of work, is being able to be invincible. Like, I know that kind of breaks a lot of rules and stuff, but as a streamer, I'm not really a streamer full time. So it was nice to be able to just click on that and, you know, basically beat the boss without having to, you know, grind for 4 hours on stream and bore the crap out of you guys. But I definitely would like to see another thing that I personally experienced, you know, with the game, is I would like to see maybe faster like travel or shortcuts in the areas that are more streamlined. It's just one of those things. It wasn't terrible, but I feel like it could be a little bit more polished, I guess is what I'm trying to, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it could be a little bit more polished. I personally, like, for me, I would like to see maybe more improvement on map markers for quest progression, or maybe a little bit more polished off than what it currently is. But I do want to end the video. For me, this is a strong patch for making bond actually matter and for fixing several game-breaking issues. But overall, this was a really good start for a really good quality game, and I can only see these updates only getting better and more refined and more polished. But if you guys did find this useful, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and drop, you know, any comments down below, because, you know, I'm definitely interested in seeing your own bond testing results, or if you guys find anything that, you know, you guys want me to cover and make a video on, I'm definitely open to that. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.